Hello, it's Peter here from the Australian Worm Farm, and today for this Thursday tip, so to speak, we'll be doing a discussion on Bokashi composting. Today I have a Bokashi compost bin from Jackie Bokashi, which is a South Australian business run by Deanna, and we sell her Bokashi bins online and also in store at 61 Anderson Walk. So today I've got a new Bokashi bin and we're going to set it up and start it running. And I'll start first by showing you how the bin is made. So you've got a bucket, usually with a very tight seal. Then you have the bottom, empty bottom with a tap. Then you've got a divider which holds the solids, and the liquid flows through the holes in the divider down to the bottom. So the idea of Bokashi composting is basically to do anaerobic composting. It's almost a fermentation system. So what we use is a Bokashi bran or grain, which is simply a carrier, in this case sawdust, for the effective microorganisms which act as a fermentation starter to help break down the food scraps and turn them into a compostable, usable material, which we can dig into the garden. So I'm going to get straight into it by using some of the food waste that we have here to get the bin started. So with Bokashi composting, you'll generally use waste that you can't put into a worm farm or a traditional compost bin. So I have here some yogurt. Unfortunately, the yogurt container cracked, but we're not going to let this food waste go to waste. So I'll add some of that into our compost bin. The sad part is it's good yogurt too, yogurt shop. Good South Australian made stuff, but unfortunately not too safe when it's cracked like that is. So there's some of that. Okay, I'll grab a bit of food waste from an event this afternoon. Now, in this instance, I'm going to break the bio bag open, and I'll do that quite deliberately. The point of the Bokashi bran is to basically allow the food to begin fermenting. So we distribute the bran right across the food in layers. So we'll add some more material in here, and then we'll add the bran as well. I'll try and do this one hand, which might be a bit of fun. So you'll notice there's a lot of hard to compost products in it. Some are very easy, but some are less so. I saw some bones in there. You've got some fruit and veg scraps, which are fine, some paper, and I'll leave the bio bag in there. Okay, the next step is to get a masher and mash the material down. And we do that quite deliberately. This is an anaerobic composting process. So we want to keep as much air out of the composting process as we can. With normal composting, hot composting, even with worm farming, they're aerobic composting. So we want, pressed a bit hard on that side, we want more, not less air in there, but in this case it's an anaerobic composting system. So we want plenty of air moved out of the system. Okay, let me open up the Bokashi bran. Do apologise. I'm working single-handed here, so it makes it a bit interesting. Now the Bokashi bran, I'll just show you that to you. It's actually, in this case, sawdust. So it's a nice light carrier. I sprinkle it right over the top. Spread everything out nicely. And the idea of the bran is to basically start that fermentation process right away. So now that we've got the material in there, plenty of moisture, we have the fermentation agent. We'll now put the lid on nice and tight, and that will start fermenting now. So that's your Bokashi brown system set to go. Very quickly, the idea with Bokashi is that you run it for as long as it takes to fill the container. Once the container gets full right up near the top, we then let it sit for a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, to allow the top material to finish fermenting. And then the whole amount can go into your worm farm or compost bin. If you're adding it into a worm farm, make sure that you neutralize it with some garden lime. Don't use normal lime, but hydrated garden lime is fine, just to neutralize the extra acidity of it. Your Bokashi should have a nice sweet smell to it, which makes it very easy to manage inside. So it could be, here we have it in a room, it might be under your kitchen sink or something like that, and that's perfect position. And the ideal part of that is you're not carrying it far like you would outside to a normal compost bin. And it also, because it can handle food scraps like meat, dairy and citrus, that also makes it ideal to run alongside a worm farm. And that's why we sell them at the Australian Worm Farm, because between the two products, that's quite a complete composting system. So most of your food scraps can go in the worm farm or compost bin, and the rest can go into your Bokashi bin, be pre-composted through that, and then added back into your worm farm or compost bin, or put straight into your garden as a food source. Thanks everyone for watching, and I look forward to catching you next week for our next Thursday tip. Thank you.